Alright, so you've been playing the final, you've been playing light class, you've been playing medium class, but you're starting to get tired of using the meta, the bloody V9S pistol with the light, or just tired of playing casually with the AK for the medium. You're trying to move up to heavy, and you want to know if it's the right class for you to play, or you want to just see what guns or gadgets are best, or how they're best used together. Well, I'm here to help you with that. I'm gonna start going through the details on how to play the heavy firstly, in case you're just generally new to these styles of games. I'll tell you how to play with heavy, or how you're meant to play with heavy. You can play however you want. I'm gonna explain what each of the specializations do, how the weapons are, and the gadgets. More specifically, which specializations are better, or in which scenarios, which weapons are better in terms of damage and reliability, and which gadgets are better in terms of, again, objective and situations. I'm going to also put timestamps in the description in case you guys want to skip to any part, whether it's the builds, the rankings, the specializations, the explanation of all of it, and feel free to do that. Alright, I'm gonna briefly explain to you how the heavy class is meant to be played. There's two main styles in this game, how you can play them. The first one is destruction. You basically destroy walls, make holes in the walls or in the floors, open pathways for your teammates to reach the objective, either gather gold, or to either deposit the gold or protect the walls. And the other method of playing heavy is support, is protecting your team. Alright, now that we know how to play heavy, let's get into the rankings. I'll start with the specialization. There's three specializations. One is the charge and slam, good gun, and the mesh shield. The charge and slam is good for destruction. You basically can run through walls, hit enemies, and you can even kill them if you can hit them more than once. Pretty much 2 or 3 times, depending on the enemy type, you can kill them with it. But its main use is for destroying walls or catching up to enemies. Goo gun is fairly simple. You shoot goo grenades that just make a big foam and block pathways, which isn't the most useful tool for the heavy class. And lastly is the mesh shield, which is my personal favorite. You can create a barricade in front of you that you can just move around with it, but only covers in front of you and somewhat your sides. Now, for the somewhat controversial part, for me at least, the weapons. I'm gonna rank them from best to worst, from my experience and in my opinion, which I would highly recommend you take into account. Best, the SA-1216, the shotgun. It's amazing. Close range, even medium range. You could literally use it for medium range combat. It's incredible. You can 2 to 3 shot light builds, which is pretty much instant because you get to shoot. It's a semi-automatic shotgun, so you get to shoot 4 times until you have to rotate your mag and then shoot again, and you have 16 bullets in your magazine. You can 3 shot the lights, or even 2, and for medium 3 to 4 again. Really depends if you can get headshots or body shots. It's incredibly reliable as long as you can land your shots. The only problem is, the shotgun doesn't have too much spread. It does have a bit of spread, but it's not too much. So if you can land your shots, it's amazing. It melts the enemy. Close range or medium range, you can pretty much win any gunfight. In my opinion, this is the only gun that can compete with the V9S pistol from the light build, which is the most broken gun in the game at the moment. So if you're at full health, the light is at full health, they rush you with the pistol, you can kill them before they can kill you if you land your shots. You can kill groups at the time, because again you get to shoot 4 times before you having to rotate the mag, which takes about 1 to 2 seconds, 1 second and 1 or 1.5 seconds, which isn't much. This game does rely on movement, so you have to be moving around, which makes it hard for your enemies to shoot you, and then you rotate the mag and just gun them down. Good range, high damage, good fire rate, good amount of bullets, an S tier gun in my opinion. In my opinion, the only S tier gun for heavy. Now, the second best weapon, I would say, is the SledgeHammer. Although it's not the most reliable, but in terms of damage, it's incredible. You can 2-shot lights, 3-shot mediums, and maybe even 3-shot heavies, or for 3 I think. So it's good for destruction. You can slam down through walls, or the floors, but the range is really short. I mean, it's a melee weapon, and as a heavy, you are incredibly slow. You're gonna be seeing me swinging at the light, and the light is just walking backwards. He's not even running. He's simply walking backwards and shooting at me, and I can't catch up to him because I'm swinging. So you have to make sure you make your swings count. You gotta swing at the right time, and mainly you gotta try to catch them by surprise, or hit them and then charge towards them using this the charge specialization. That's how you usually get kills with the sledgehammer. But it's really good, especially if you're playing with your team. If they're distracting them, if they're dealing damage, you can like come and just finish off the enemy with one hit. So it is the best second option, I guess, for weapons if you don't want to use a shotgun. Good for destruction, good for close range, really limits the mobility. And if your opponent knows how to get away from you, you pretty much can't touch them. Which gets us to the M16 and the Lewis gun. They're fairly average. I haven't used the Lewis gun or the grenade launcher. I've seen them. I see how they play, and they're not very useful. I mean, Lewis gun is basically a downgrade from the M60. The damage is the same, the fire rate same, accuracy less. It only gives you slight amount of range, not even much. It's got the same reload speed, but the mag size is less. So it's just, there's just no reason for you to be using this. Don't touch it. Don't waste your coins. Don't waste your gem. Just do not use it at all. Same could be said about the grenade launcher. In terms of damage, nothing special. I mean, you really, it's hard to use it. You only get 6 bullets. It's good for destruction, but again, why would you use that when you can have the sledgehammer and the charge and slam? The grenade launcher is just not a really good option. Slow fire rate, short range. It's not reliable at all. Gets us to the M60. It's a good gun. Close range, it's decent. Medium range, decent. Long range, not really. It does have a bit of recoil, so it's hard to use. 70 bullets. That's the best part about it. Reload speed isn't too much. I mean, you got the flamethrower with the same reload speed, which I get to that. I've got a bone to pick with the flamethrower. But M16 is it's an average weapon. Basically, the M60 has decent range, average damage, average reliability in general. Like, if you're full health, you go against a light with the pistol, most likely they're gonna kill you. I'd say 6-7 times out of 10 they're gonna kill you. Even though you have 200 extra health compared to them, they're still gonna kill you. Which gets us to the flamethrower, worst gun in the game in my opinion. Now, I've seen a lot of people say it's good. I've seen other videos of people saying that it's a good weapon. I disagree. It's horrible. I want you to imagine using the sledgehammer. If the sledgehammer had half a meter extra range, that would be the flamethrower, with far less damage, less accuracy, and no destruction. The sledgehammer is like 10 times better than the flamethrower if you're gonna use a really close range weapon. Horrible damage even. Like there's been times you're gonna see in the shown gameplay, I'm on full HP, there's a medium with half HP and an AK. I'm not missing any of my shots, it's close range, I'm landing every single bit of my fire on him. He kills me. That's crazy. So he's got about, I don't know, 130 to 170 health. I've got 350 health. I'm using a flamethrower. He's using an AK. He kills me. He outguns me in that situation. That shouldn't happen. That simply should not happen. The flamethrower is really unreliable. When you're using, obviously you're going to be walking. So if it's a light, they just need to press sprint and they're already out of your range. You cannot touch the lights unless you catch them by surprise. And the most craziest part is the same thing can be said about the medium. You're gonna see a medium, they run away from me for a good 20-30 seconds and eventually ends up killing me when he resets his health because this flamethrower can't reach him. You're gonna see me use a rocket, a flamethrower, and then a pyro grenade to kill someone. I think kill a medium. Horrible gun. People talk about suppression. It doesn't suppress anything. If you're in a box in a room with closed doors, sure, it can suppress, and if you land your shots with any gun, you can kill the guy with the flamethrower. Really unreliable. Sometimes it works, most times it doesn't. And you can see that sometimes, sure, my aim isn't the best, but a lot of times I'm landing my shots and it just doesn't work. It either doesn't reach them, even though it should, or it just doesn't kill them. I'd rather use the grenade launcher than the flamethrower if I had to choose. Terrible weapon. I would not recommend using it with anything at all. Don't touch it. If you want to have a meme build and try to have fun, try it. I couldn't have fun even though I wasn't trying sometimes. Alright, now that we're done with the weapons, let's get to the gadgets. As you can see, I haven't even used these gadgets, but they're fairly easy to understand what they do. Night vision, you don't need it. The game is not dark enough for you to want to use night vision. There's no point in it, so don't even waste your gems on it. Explosive mine, I've been hit by it a few times, killed by it. It's good for defensive play, but in my opinion there's just better gadgets to use. You could change it with the pyro grenade, but I think either one works. Same goes with the pyro mine. You have the grenade that you can throw. Why would you need a mine? Unless you're planning on camping, which again you can still use the pyro grenade. It lasts for a while when you throw it down to cover a doorway. You don't really need a mine. There's a gas grenade, pretty simple. It's toxic gas. Again, doesn't really go with the heavy playstyle in my opinion. There's C4. C4 is useful for destruction. So if you're going for a destructive build, go for rocket launcher, C4, maybe a dome shield just to protect yourself when situation gets really bad. If you don't want to use it, pyro grenade or frag grenade, I guess. So that's the ultimate destructive build. I personally don't really use destructive builds. I more go for support build, which personally gets me more kills even. So you don't really need to worry. The shotgun does everything. Trust me, it's amazing. Just land your shots. Pyro grenade, it's a Molotov. It's simple. It's in every single game. Same with the C4 really. But the destructive element in this game is a bit different to most games other than Battlefield. But it's a Molotov. Pyro grenade is a Molotov. That's simple. Lasts a while. It's good for finishing off people or blocking pathways, unless they want to take damage. Goo grenade, again, wouldn't really recommend using it for heavy, but it basically makes a goo barricade. People can't really go through it. They gotta either break it or jump over it. But if you put it for doorways, they have to break it. If you are gonna use the flamethrower, goo grenade isn't bad. You can set it on fire. It sort of becomes a thermite, but don't use the flamethrower. You could use it with the pyro grenade if you really want to make a thermite or make a flaming goo. Frag grenade, simple, not really reliable. I've tried using them a lot. People move around a lot in this game. This game is really based on movement, and well, their radius isn't too big. So unless they're really in a room and they have to stay, and somehow don't realize you throw a grenade in, sure, it's good, but it doesn't even one-shot anyone, to my knowledge. I used it again. I even got hit markers, but it never killed anyone, at least on full HP. So what's the point of a grenade that doesn't even kill? Flashbang, it's a flashbang. It blinds them. Do have to say the duration is not long, maybe 1 or 2 seconds. Really small duration, which isn't bad. Again, for a game that's based on movement, you don't really want to be blind. Barricade, it's alright for a defensive play, but it's not really necessary. The dome shield is basically a bubble. You put down a bubble, you go inside of it, you can shoot out, but they can't shoot you, which is incredibly useful. It's good for depositing money, depositing the vault. It's good for reviving or even just recovering. It's incredible. Or just like being protected while dealing damage. It's in every sense really useful. The same it goes with the mesh shield. It's the only difference is that you can't shoot through it, and it's not really a bubble. It's like a wall. You hold a wall in front of you, your teammates can shoot through it, the enemy can't. It's also the mesh shield is also really useful for pushing. Now for a support and protection build, I would go for the mesh shield, 100% must. The shotgun is a must. Best gun, again, can't stress this enough. Just practice your aim with it and you melt through people. I've had kills with 20 games with 18-20 kills, and those are the games that I'm not even like going for kills necessarily. I'm more protecting or more playing the objective. Dome shield, a must. You need it. It's really good for helping your team. It's good for reviving. It's good for depositing while getting pushed. Really helpful. RPG, same. It gives you the element of destruction again. For example, you could go underneath the floor, shoot up, make a hole that drops the vault down or the deposit bank, and you can deposit on it. so that reduces the risk. Make hole through the walls. If you hit someone with it, I'm pretty sure, I know it can kill a light. I think it can kill a medium as well if you hit them with it. If not, even if you hit close to them, does more than half their HP. Really useful. The pyro grenade, it's good, but again, it's more good for suppression or for protection. And yep, that's for the support build. But if you want a destructive build, I would recommend this combo. Fairly similar. Instead, for the specialization, you go to charge and slam. You charge and slam, you go through walls, you damage people, and again, it's good for catching up to your opponent. So if you damage them with the hammer, you finish them off with the charge and slam, or if you damage them with the charge and slam and you finish them off with the hammer. The grenade, it's good. You could use it for the pyro grenade, but in case you've made a hole and if you wanna kill the people inside without going in it, you get 2 grenades, so you just chuck them in there, hopefully they'll die. If not, you can use a pyro grenade, or if you want to spend the money on it, you can use a C4, which I would recommend more. You can use the grenade, the pyro grenade, or the C4. Either of them is fine. It's good for finishing off your opponents, for all of them, or for destruction. Because again, the pyro grenade does set fire to the goo, which it's good for destruction. RPG, destruction, damage, finishing off your opponent or damaging them and then finishing them off with the sledgehammer. And the dome shield for some protection. Again, if you really want to go all out for it, go C4, pyro grenade. You can go for both. I would recommend a dome shield though, because sometimes you get into a situation when you can't catch up to your opponent, they're shooting at you and you can't hide. So the best option is to put the shield on, recover. They'll either have to get close to you or try to destroy the shield, which in the meantime you can either get help from your teammate or think of a way to get out. Maybe use your charge and slam to get out of the situation if it's charged up by then. Different scenarios, would recommend. And yeah, that's a simple guide for heavy. Well, if you stick to the end, thank you for watching. Give a sub and like if you like, and I might make a video on medium and light. I've played them a bit. I prefer the medium over light. Light, just you don't have enough health, but again, the pistol is broken, so I might give it a try. We'll see, especially because the beta is gonna end in 2 days, on November 5th, so I don't know if I will do it, but if I do end up, stay tuned. Thank you for watching.